Hello, how are you? Happy Monday, September 23. Let's go directly to the title for today in the Sabbath School Quarterly for Monday is The Stone Was Rolled Away. The stone was rolled away. So let's go directly to the Bible. But go and tell, this is Mark 16:7. This is the last chapter of the book of Mark. Okay? Mark 16:7. But go and tell his disciples and Peter that he is going before you into Galilee. There you will see him as he said to you. In the 40 days Jesus ministers between the resurrection and the ascension. 40 days, Acts chapter 1. Jesus will meet his disciples in Galilee. He had already made that promise before the crucifixion, Mark chapter 14. Later this day, however, he travels with two of them from Jerusalem to Emmaus, inspiring them to return to Jerusalem. That evening, he meets with 10 of the remaining 12. Thomas will be absent. Judas will be really absent. He will also see a few others in Jerusalem. Peter is mentioned as one who specifically needs to be told the angel's message. Once the 12's self-appointed spokesman, he has been hiding in shame since he denied Jesus in the trial before the Sanhedrin. Peter had a very strong idea of who Jesus was and what Jesus would do for him. Now Peter thinks himself cowardly as a traitor, that Jesus is dead and all is lost. And he's probably saying to himself, I am a loser. I'm not a winner. Jesus will take the time to reconcile with Peter in private and then publicly in John chapter 21. Jesus will come to the 7. Can you imagine 7 of the 12 were back in their nets, in their fishing, in their secular, after witnessing death, burial, resurrection of Jesus Christ, instead of preaching the gospel, they're back to their nets. No wonder somebody chose Paul after providing a miraculous catch of fish, reminiscent of his calling of some of these same disciples described in Luke 5. He feeds them breakfast. Jesus feeds them breakfast. Can you believe it? Jesus says Peter twice, do you love me? Do you ahava me? Because Jesus didn't speak Greek to him. They spoke Aramaic. Aramaic comes from Aram, Padam Aram, Mesopotamia, in between two rivers. The language between the Tigris and the Euphrates. That is Aram. And Aramaic is from Padam Aram, that land. And Jesus' language with his father and with his disciples was Aramaic, the ancient Hebrew. Do you ahava me? Do you love me with the same love that Jacob had for Rachel, that Jacob had for Leah, that Jesus wants you to have for him? Deuteronomy 6, love God with all your might, with all your strength, with all your power, with all your soul, with all your heart. That is the love, the passion. Are you in love with God? So, are you in love? Jesus is saying, Peter, are you in love with me? There's a difference. Do you love me? You can love God without being in love with God. And he doesn't want anything without love. Now, if you do, Peter says yes, and he starts crying. Then he gives him the task. If you love me, keep my commandments. 22 times in the Bible, if you love me, keep my commandments. If you love me, keep my commandments. And feed my sheep. I finish with a story from the Bible directly. It's Saturday evening. The Sabbath is over. Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, Salome go out and purchase burial spices. They want to anoint the body of Jesus. So very, very, very early in the morning, on Sunday morning, just at the sunrise, they go to the tomb. On the way there, they were asking each other, who will roll away the stone for us? Who will move that heavy, heavy, heavy piece of rock from the entrance of the tomb? But as they arrive, they look up and they see that the stone, which was very large and very heavy, has already been rolled away, has been rolled aside. When they enter the tomb, they see a young man clothed in a white robe sitting on the right side. And the women are shocked. But the young man, the angel says, don't be alarmed. Don't panic. Don't be afraid. Don't be terrorized. You are looking for Jesus of Nazareth. He was crucified. He isn't here anymore. He has risen from the dead. Look, this is where they laid his body. Now, go and tell his disciples, including Peter, that Jesus is going ahead of you to Galilee. You will see him there, just as he told you before he died. The women fled from the tomb, trembling and bewildered, and they said nothing to anyone because they were too frightened. May the Lord bless you, and I will see you tomorrow.
I'm going higher.